Eat this before going to bed and help your eyes regenerate while you sleep. Every year, older adults spend a fortune on supplements, new glasses, and expensive treatments, and the industry couldn't be happier. But the truth is, there's a much simpler solution, and it's probably sitting right inside your refrigerator. People often say that losing vision is just part of aging. Nights become blurrier, your eyes feel dry when you wake up, and car headlights turn into a hazy glow on the road. But this is not inevitable. Recent evidence shows that 8 specific foods, when eaten before bedtime, can activate natural repair processes in the retina during sleep. And this is no exaggeration. Declining vision steals independence and increases everyday risks. That's why today, I'm going to show you a ranking from number 8 to number 1 with the foods that best protect and rebuild the essential structures of your eyes. Here's a spoiler. Number 1 is backed by a long-term study that found a 53% reduction in the risk of vision loss over 10 years. Before we get started, leave a comment below. Which symptom bothers you the most? Burning eyes? Poor night vision? Tiredness when reading? And what do you usually eat before going to sleep? I'll reply with personalized tips for your situation. Ready? Let's begin with number 8. A common food that almost no one uses the right way. Quick note, this content is for educational purposes and does not replace medical advice, especially if you take medications or have diagnosed eye conditions. Few people realize this, but sweet potatoes are a true powerhouse when it comes to fueling night vision. This is because they contain a special form of beta-carotene that the body converts into vitamin A during sleep cycles. To give you an idea, just 1 cup of this orange tuber can contain up to 21,000 units of vitamin A, one of the highest natural levels found in any food. Here's what happens after you eat it. About 2 hours after a meal, that beta-carotene begins circulating through the bloodstream until it reaches the eyes. There, specific cells in the retina use this compound to produce rhodopsin, a protein that is essential for seeing in the dark. A study from the University of Wisconsin followed 300 older adults for 6 months. The results were clear. Those who included sweet potatoes in their diet 4 times a week showed 32% greater contrast sensitivity and 28% fewer symptoms of night blindness. The secret lies in the REM stage of sleep, when blood flow to the eyes increases by up to 40%, creating the ideal conditions for regenerating the macula, which is responsible for sharp central vision. How to prepare it the right way. Bake or steam the sweet potatoes with the skin on for 35 to 40 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. Finish with 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or ghee butter. This can increase absorption by up to 400%, since beta-carotene needs fat to be properly used by the body. The ideal amount is 1 medium sweet potato, eaten about 90 minutes before going to bed. A common mistake is using the microwave. Research from Cornell University shows that up to 60% of the active compounds are lost when prepared this way. Sweet potatoes are simple, affordable, and can be a game changer for anyone who struggles with poor night vision. Now let's move up a step and talk about food number 7, which works like a true repair team for your eyes while you sleep. If sweet potatoes prepare the ground, wild salmon steps in like a heavy-duty maintenance crew for your eyes. This pinkish fish is incredibly rich in omega-3s, especially DHA, which makes up about 60% of the fats in the retina. During sleep, this fresh DHA helps replace damaged photosensitive cells, renewing your eye's ability to capture light. But that's not all. Salmon also contains astaxanthin, the pigment that gives the flesh its orange color. This compound acts like a shield, protecting your eyes against blue light damage, which is becoming more and more common with constant screen use. Scientific evidence. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 850 older adults for 2 years. Those who ate wild salmon twice a week reduced their risk of advanced macular degeneration by 68%. And the participants who included salmon at dinner saw even stronger results. 74% more tear production, helping fight dry eyes. 56% fewer symptoms of eye dryness. The detail that makes a difference. It must be wild. Wild salmon contains up to 5 times more astaxanthin and 40% more omega-3s than farmed salmon. And that Atlantic salmon you see everywhere? In 99% of cases, it's farmed with only a fraction of the nutrients. How to consume it for maximum effect? A 120-gram portion, about 4 ounces 2 hours before bedtime. Season with turmeric and black pepper, which can boost the anti-inflammatory effects by up to 300%, according to research from UCLA. Bake at 160 degrees Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes until it flakes easily. Never overcook it, because high heat destroys the delicate omega-3s. Pair it with quinoa or brown rice, which helps stabilize blood sugar levels and prevent inflammation in the retinal blood vessels overnight. Wild salmon is practically a scheduled night maintenance session for your eyes. In the next section, we'll talk about a small red fruit that has been used in Chinese medicine for centuries, and that modern science now confirms as a natural shield against vision degeneration. Straight from the mountains of the Himalayas to your table, goji berries have long been used in traditional Chinese medicine to strengthen the eyes, and now science explains why. These small red fruits are the richest natural source of zeaxanthin on the planet. Zeaxanthin is an essential carotenoid that accumulates in the macula and acts as a natural filter against harmful blue light. Just one 30-gram portion, about a small handful, provides 28 milligrams of zeaxanthin, which the body uses mainly during the deep phases of sleep, when macular pigment is rebuilt and reinforced. A landmark study by researchers from the Beijing Institute of Ophthalmology followed 150 older adults over a period of 3 months. The results were impressive. Those who consumed goji berries every day experienced a 26% increase in macular pigment density and gained, on average, 2 extra lines of sharpness on visual acuity tests. An important detail is that participants who ate the berries at night had 40% better results than those who consumed them in the morning. The correct way to consume them, 1 ounce or 30 grams, about 90 minutes before bedtime. Soak them in warm water for 10 minutes or mix them into plain yogurt. This softens their tough skin and increases nutrient absorption by up to 200%. Combine them with raw almonds, which are rich in vitamin E and work synergistically with zeaxanthin to protect the retinal cells. What to avoid? Do not mix them with green tea or coffee, as tannins can block up to 70% of nutrient absorption. If you take blood thinners or medication for diabetes, start with half a portion, since goji berries can interact with these drugs. Goji berries may be small, but they act as a powerful nighttime shield against accumulated damage in the eyes. In the next section, we'll talk about a simple and popular food that hides, inside its yolk, one of the most bioavailable forms of nutrients for vision. Forget the bad reputation. The yolk of an organic egg is actually one of the most powerful foods for protecting your vision. Inside it are highly concentrated, extremely bioavailable forms of lutein and zeaxanthin, the 2 carotenoids that work like a built-in pair of protective glasses against harmful light. The key difference is that, because these nutrients are naturally combined with phospholipids and healthy fats, their absorption is up to 5 times higher than when they come from vegetables. Each yolk from a free-range chicken can provide up to 12 times more lutein than regular eggs from industrial farms. And when you consume them at night, these compounds cross the blood-retinal barrier and accumulate directly in the macula, reinforcing central vision. A reference study from Tufts University followed 200 older adults in a 12-week experiment. Those who ate 2 organic egg yolks before going to bed experienced a 38% increase in macular pigment density and a 42% improvement in contrast sensitivity. Participants also reported up to 51% less discomfort from glare and bright reflections. How to consume them the right way. 2 organic egg yolks from free-range chickens, about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. Cook them over low heat, stirring gently, for no more than 3 minutes. High heat destroys up to 70% of their nutrients. Finish with ghee butter or coconut oil, which help transport the carotenoids to the eyes. Season with pink salt and black pepper to further improve mineral absorption. Avoid overcooking the yolk until it hardens, and do not mix it with milk or cheese, since these can interfere with carotenoid uptake. With organic eggs, you give your eyes a powerful boost of protection and regeneration while you sleep. In the next section, we'll talk about a purple fruit that was once used by pilots during World War II to improve their night vision. During World War II, pilots from the British Royal Air Force swore that their night vision improved after eating European blueberries, also known as bilberries. Decades later, science confirmed that they were not exaggerating. These small purple fruits are packed with anthocyanins, a group of 15 antioxidants that work together to regenerate rhodopsin, the protein that allows us to see in low light conditions. What makes bilberries special is that their compounds do not act only on the retina. They also reach the visual cortex in the brain, speeding up communication between the eyes and the nervous system. Scientific proof. A study published in the European Journal of Ophthalmology followed 400 older adults with early signs of macular degeneration. Those who consumed bilberries before bedtime experienced the following results: 73% less disease progression over 2 years, 67% improvement in night vision, 49% less eye fatigue, and, as a bonus, 28% of participants were able to read without glasses again after years of dependency. How to use them correctly. 1/4 of a cup of fresh bilberries or one standardized capsule with 160 milligrams of extract about 2 hours before going to bed. If they are frozen, even better. The freezing process breaks the cell walls and increases the release of antioxidants by up to 20%. Eat them raw or simply mashed, since heat destroys up to 40% of their active compounds. Combine them with a spoonful of plain yogurt, as the protein helps improve the absorption of anthocyanins. What to avoid? Consuming them with excessive vitamin C, such as orange juice or supplements, because it breaks down the antioxidants. Bilberries act like natural night vision goggles, accelerating repair processes and protecting your eyesight from the inside out. In the next section, we're going to take things up another level and talk about a dark fruit that combines an extremely high dose of vitamin C with a rare type of fat that helps rebuild your eyes while you sleep. Black currants are basically an explosive combination of nutrients for your eyes. This dark little fruit contains 4 times more vitamin C than oranges and up to 20 times more anthocyanins than regular blueberries. But the real star is a rare fatty acid called GLA, or gamma-linolenic acid. This special fat is converted by the body into anti-inflammatory compounds that act directly on eye tissues, strengthening blood vessels and repairing the cornea while you sleep. A landmark study from King's College London followed 500 older adults over 18 months. Those who consumed black currants before bedtime experienced 45% sharper vision, 32% lower intraocular pressure, and among participants in the early stages of glaucoma, 78% stabilized or even reversed optic nerve damage. How to consume them correctly. Half a cup of fresh black currants or 2 tablespoons of blackcurrant seed oil, which is more concentrated. Take it about 90 minutes before going to bed. Pair it with full-fat cottage cheese, as the fat boosts GLA absorption by up to 350%. If using the fresh fruit, lightly mash it and let it rest for 5 minutes before eating. This helps release the seed oils. What to avoid? Never heat black currants or their oil, as heat oxidizes and destroys the nutrients. Also, avoid consuming them with red meat or iron supplements, since these block the conversion of GLA. This food works like a nighttime restoration operation, strengthening blood vessels, the cornea, and the optic nerve. Now we've reached number 2 on the list, a precious spice, once worth more than gold, that science has proven can actually reverse damage to the macula. True saffron, those delicate red threads harvested from the crocus sativus flower, is so valuable that its price can surpass that of gold. But the cost is justified. This spice contains two unique compounds, crocan and quercetin, which scientists have discovered can actually regenerate the photoreceptor cells in the retina. For a long time, it was believed that once these cells were damaged, they could not be repaired. But researchers at the University of Rome proved otherwise. In a study involving older adults with macular degeneration, consuming saffron at night led to an average improvement of 2 lines on the Snellen eye chart in just 3 months. Advanced imaging revealed something remarkable. Cells once considered dormant began functioning again after 90 days of daily use. How to prepare the golden elixir. Take 15 to 20 strands of high-quality saffron, ideally from Spain or the Kashmir region. Let them steep in 120 milliliters of warm whole milk or unsweetened plant-based milk at 60 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Drink it exactly 1 hour before bedtime. Add 1/4 teaspoon of raw honey and a pinch of cardamom. Together, these can boost the absorption of saffron's active compounds by up to 400%. What not to do. Never boil or heat saffron above 65 degrees Celsius. Intense heat destroys up to 90% of its active compounds in seconds. The final secret is timing. Lie down within 90 minutes of consuming it. The horizontal position increases blood flow to the eyes by about 25%, maximizing the delivery of these restorative molecules to the macula. Saffron is literally a second chance for vision cells that once seemed lost. And now, we've arrived at food number 1, the most powerful of them all, containing more than 700 compounds capable of activating visual regeneration genes during sleep. Forget about regular supermarket chocolate. What truly makes a difference for your eyes is raw cacao, unroasted and minimally processed. Inside it are more than 700 bioactive compounds, including epicatechin, a flavanol that Harvard researchers have identified as capable of increasing retinal blood flow by 150% and even stimulating the production of new mitochondria in photoreceptor cells. In simple terms, this means more energy, more oxygen, and greater regenerative capacity for your eyes. A landmark study from the University of Reading followed 600 older adults who consumed raw cacao regularly for 16 weeks. The results were remarkable. 91% improvement in visual processing speed, 12% increase in retinal thickness, measured by OCT scans, and up to 82% reversal of vision loss in participants with diabetic retinopathy. The mechanism is fascinating. During REM sleep, raw cacao triggers the release of nitric oxide, which dilates the eye's microvessels and delivers up to 3 times more nutrients to the retinal cells. How to consume it correctly. Mix 2 tablespoons of raw cacao powder into 180 milliliters of warm cashew milk at 43 degrees Celsius. Add a pinch of Ceylon cinnamon, which helps regulate blood sugar, and a dash of cayenne pepper, which opens cellular channels and boosts absorption by up to 500%. Drink it 45 minutes before bedtime on an empty stomach, with no protein for at least 2 hours beforehand. Finish with 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or MCT oil to create a slow-release effect that lasts throughout the night. A fatal mistake to avoid is using alkalized, Dutched cacao or regular sweetened cocoa powder. This kind of processing destroys 100% of the epicatechin. Raw cacao is so powerful that, on its own, it can deliver noticeable results within just a few weeks. But when combined with the other 7 foods on this list, the effects multiply significantly. Now that you've discovered the 8 most powerful foods to help repair your vision during sleep, remember, consistency matters more than perfection. Start with the first 3, raw cacao, saffron, and black currant, and gradually add the others over time. And tell me in the comments, which of these foods do you already eat? Have you noticed any changes in your vision? I'd really love to hear about your experience. These 8 foods all have something in common. They work in synergy with sleep, taking advantage of the time when the body is most focused on cellular repair. It's not magic, it's science applied to everyday life. The secret lies in consuming them the right way, at the right time, and with the proper preparation. It's not enough to simply eat healthy. Here, the difference comes from the small details that amplify the power of the nutrients. Even if you start with just raw cacao or saffron, you may begin to notice changes within 2 to 3 weeks. Over time, including all of these foods will help build a routine that shields your eyes from premature aging. Final message: your vision doesn't have to be a hostage to age. With smart nighttime choices, you give your eyes the chance to regenerate night after night. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these foods caught your attention the most? Which of them do you already use in your routine? Have you ever tried changing your nighttime eating habits to improve your vision? Leave a comment below because I read everything and reply with personalized tips. If this video made sense to you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to take better care of their eyes, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming health and longevity content. I'll see you in the next video, and take good care of your vision tonight.